Hey everybody, welcome back to another Godzilla Battleline video, and today I am talking about the tier list of Season 32 of Godzilla Battleline. We're talking about Giant Octopus, Godzilla Terrestris, Godzilla 1999, Kiryu, Heavy Arms, Tactical version, whatever his full name is, Hat version, and then the featured character of the season, Orga. Alright, cool. Better late than never. Sorry that I'm not doing a stream for this. I just really felt like the new characters and the new buffs really did not impact the meta in such a big way that I would sit here for 2 hours and talk to you about how crazy the meta shift is, when really the meta shift has not shifted. Nothing is getting booted out of S+ tier. I think maybe the positioning of some things are shifting in S tier, but that, I mean, nothing I think is moving down any tiers because of this list. I think everything is going to remain the same. I didn't include Ultima also on the characters down here. That he didn't really get a change, and I'm not including him down here in the list of characters that are changed or new. He is up here, and maybe I will shift him up or down, but I did not include him down there. Actually, you know what? Scuffed. I'll just put him down here. Whatever. So let's talk about Giant Octopus first. I have the list of the buffs right over here on the other screen. So Giant Octopus got an increase to an attack speed, an increase to attack reach, extended search range, aerial is now able to be targeted, and increased movement speed in water. I am over the moon. I am over the moon with the Giant Octopus changes. These are phenomenal. He has been a consistent top of D tier ever since August of 2022 that he's been in the game. He has been nothing short of dog water. This actually is really good. This actually is really, really good. I am moving him up here ahead of Chibi Godzilla in the B tier. I think he's now better than Chibi Godzilla. Chibi Godzilla is fine. I think Giant Octopus is now better. Giant Octopus gets an increase to his slow when he's in the water as well. That was not part of the buffs. He's always had that. So now that he can hit air units, he can stop Shindins, he can stop, you know, Rodans, Batchers, Mothras, whatever. He's providing a lot more coverage now. He has a way larger search range. His speed is faster, so he actually can move up the field now. Overall, these are what? He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He had 5 buffs to his kit this season. That is phenomenal. We don't normally see an overhaul like this. You know, what he's doing isn't overhauled, but his ability to do what he does has been overhauled. Giant Octopus, 2 cost, easy slot in to the B tier. That is a no question. Being able to slow down Mothras or Leos or Shindins or even the Destroyer flying forms, being able to hit a whole new category of character that he was not able to hit before is phenomenal. That extended search range, phenomenal. If he's in the water, you know, mine is level 45, 44, something in the mid 40s. And his slow, with the bonus for when he's in the water, now not only is he increased his movement speed in water, which is great, but he also has that slow increase. So my Giant Octopus is slowing for like 16 seconds or something like that in the water, or close to that. So even if he dies in like 2 or 3 hits, which he's not, he's going to go through like 4 hits. My Giant Octopus is tanked to level 30, what's his name? 4th Angel Explosion. Crazy. But now, even if he dies, the character that he hits will probably still remain slowed. So he is moving up into the B tier. That is just phenomenal. Now, Godzilla Terrestris is one of my favorite characters. Love him. He's great. I am going to move Godzilla Terrestris out of C tier. I believe I had him, or maybe not out of C tier, but he was down here, I think, last season in the back of C tier. I am going to move Godzilla Terrestris up into the middle of the C tier now. He got a lower to his cost and a shortened evolution time. So he went from a 6 cost to a 5 cost, and he went from 30 seconds to evolve to 25 seconds to evolve. He is still the most difficult pre-evolution to get. I think the only thing that comes close... Actually, no. I don't think is now the hardest one to get. I think it might be... Ava Unit 2 is now no, because Ava Unit 2 is like, what, a 5 or a 6 cost, and then is a 30-second evolution, but then gets put straight to the field. Terrestris suffers from not being able to go straight to the field. He has to go back to your hand, and then you place him again. So instead of doing 12 total energy for Terrestris than Ultima, you are getting, 11 instead. I'm moving him up into the middle of C tier. He's easier to evolve now. He is not, like, the best unit in the game. He's still one of the hardest pre-evolutions to evolve. But, I mean, I would rather use Terrestris and Ultima now over, like, Unit 2, what's his name, King Caesar, Gigan, like, all these other characters. Like, all the characters in the C tier behind Terrestris, I think, now do too little for what they cost. Now, Terrestris is, like, right on the border of that. Like, he's about to be doing really well for what he costs. But everything behind him, I think, is just a little bit worse than he is at this time. Ultima now. Ultima gets to go up a little bit this season. I'm putting him just ahead of Mogera. He's not incredibly meta, but the fact that he now is easier to get on the field makes him more reliable. Range is the name of the game. Range is still the best stat that you could possibly have. And with the addition of Kiryu Kai that we'll talk about, the new Kiryu Kai, how he does more damage against, you know, he gets a damage boost, spoiler alert, when there's 7 cost units on the field. Ultimate is a 6 cost. He avoids that. He's not going to trigger that ability. 6 costs and 5 costs are up this season. Ultima rules. I love Ultima. He didn't move up too far on the list, but he definitely moves up a little bit just because he is a tiny bit easier to get on the field. So he moves up, but he's not super meta, super impactful. Godzilla 1999 now. He got an increase to his HP, an increase to his range damage on defeat, and it shortened the time it takes to activate the burn. I don't particularly think he is very good either. I don't know where I had him last season. Was he in the C tier last season? Let me go check that real quick. Meta tab. Where's the meta tab in my Discord? Meta pinned tier list. Godzilla 1999 was at the top of C tier last season. I had him right here. I don't know. I still don't really think he's that good. Stats-wise, he's probably something like this. He's definitely not worse than Giant Octopus is, but I don't think he's very good. I'll leave him in the back end of B tier. I've used him a bunch this season as a leader and on my team just for all the daily missions and stuff that I've gotten. And I've never once found myself being like, he is going to really impact the way this match goes. I usually am holding the energy that I could have been spending on him to spend it on another character instead, like -1. For 1 more energy, I could drop -1 and do a ridiculous amount of damage, right? I think Godzilla 1999 is fine. I don't think he's going to be super impactful going forward. I still like a lot of other units more than him. I don't know what he would need to change. I think maybe more health or more damage. The buff this season that he got, that, did I just exit the buff page? I hope not. Where is it? Right here. Nope, here it is. He got increased to HP, increased his range damage on defeat, which is the increase to the fire damage. I wish he just had more damage in general. More health, more damage, make him hit super hard, make him guarantee getting those activations on the flames. I would like that a lot, and I think that is probably truly what he needs to be great. Moving on now to the characters that are featured for this season. Kiryu Kai Heavy Arms Type, KKHAT, Kiryu Kai Hat. I like Kiryu Hat a lot. I think that he is super impactful. For those of you who don't know, I'm not talking about anything else in his kit except his 2 attacks and then his boost. So I have his page from the blog post as well pulled up, and it reads, this high cost killer deals more damage when there is an enemy unit with the cost of 7 or more on the battlefield. Kiryu Kai Heavy Arms Type unleashes 3 consecutive multi-stage attacks in a straight line on deployment until its artillery gauge runs out. Once its gauge is empty, Kiryu Kai Heavy Arms Type transforms into a close-range attack unit wielding a drill. Its movement speed will be temporarily boosted, and it will begin to march on the battlefield. So when he spawns in, he uses his artillery backpack and like his arms and everything. He's just shooting tons of missiles, tons and tons of missiles. That AoE is phenomenal. It is large. He's hitting multiple times. He takes Shindens down in like 1 volley for the most part. He will still be distracted by Shinden, and then he targets air and everything with that. It is so good. That AoE is so solid. When the gauge that he has goes to 0, he drops the artillery. He doesn't like actually drop it in the game, but he stops using it, and he switches to a drill mode. He will run. He gets like a King Caesar speed boost for 15 seconds, does a drill attack. When he has the drill hands, he cannot target air, but if an air unit is in the way or like on top of a unit he can hit, that drill will still hit the air units. He is having a similar effect that Mechagodzilla Mechagodzilla 2021 has, where he can't target air, but he can accidentally hit air. Kiryu Kai, in the second stage of his ability, has that. He can accidentally hit air. Super good unit. Super good unit. And this season with the rented boost, phenomenal. I'm putting him this season in the S tier, like right here. Like he is like super strong this season. I'm like just messed up that right here. I'm putting him like at the top of the S tier this season. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's a really good unit. And him being on the field will make all the 7-cost units like a little worse, right? Because he's not affecting the stats of the 7-cost units, but if you drop Waka Godzilla and Kiryu Kai is on the field, he's getting a boost. He doesn't just get a damage boost only to the 7 costs. A 7 cost just has to be present, and then he gets that damage boost for everyone that is in his way. As long as there's a 7 cost on the field, Kiryu Kai is doing a crazy amount of damage. It is really strong. Okay, I believe this does not count if your leader is 7 cost or higher. It has to be a unit on the battlefield that is 7 cost or higher. This season, with the rented levels, it's putting him near the top of S tier. There are a lot of really good units that are affected by this. Destroya, 7 or higher cost. Waka Godzilla, 7 or higher cost. Final Wars Godzilla, 7 or higher cost. Earth, 7 or higher cost, right? Highest cost of the game, right? I'm pretty sure Ginza Godzilla is 7, I think, right? Maybe he's 6. I don't remember. The point is, if the unit is 7 cost or higher, Kiryu is going to take it down. No questions asked. He's phenomenal, and I definitely think after this season, he will fall off because people will have not a lot of levels on him. But right now, while the rented is up, he is high, and as long as he's on the field, all the 7 costs will move down. Right? They're not going into any of the next tiers, like, oh, Kiryu Kai makes, you know, Godzilla Final Wars a B tier unit, or Kiryu Kai makes Godzilla Earth a C tier unit. If Kiryu Kai is on the field, Godzilla Earth goes from like the 3rd best unit to like the 6th best unit, the 5th best unit, right? Because that's just how it works. But if Kiryu Kai is not on the field, the 7 costs are not affected whatsoever. They're still kicking ass, and it doesn't even matter, right? You could have Kiryu Kai in your hand the entire time, and they could keep your opponent keep dropping 7 costs, 7 costs, 7 costs, 7 costs. You never get a good opportunity to drop Kiryu. They're going to run you over. Kiryu Kai doesn't give the buff to everyone. He just has it for himself. If he gave this buff to everyone, that would be fantastic. All the 7 costs would probably move down a tier. But he just gives it to himself. So for now, he is at the top of the S tier, I think, right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually move. I just realized Ginza is up at the top of the S tier. I'm going to move Ginza, like, right here. This is probably a better understanding of the meta at this point. Love this. Kiryu Kai hat is great. Definitely the better of the Kiryus. Final guy, Orga. We love Orga. Orga's page reads, a UFO soars onto the battlefield upon Orga's deployment, inflicting slow on enemy units in a semicircle. I almost never see this ability get used on a unit. It just always happens when Orga spawns in. I almost never see Orga used defensively. Almost always offensively. Orga is a defensive unit with a high HP and ability to revive itself once with 50 HP on its HP being reduced to 0, making it nearly unstoppable ground unit. When you set Orga as your leader, oh, we don't care about the leader, so this is a unit tier list. Orga gets 50% HP. I believe he also gets a damage boost when he is revived. I don't remember exactly what it is. I don't also remember where I just dropped Orga. Oh, he's right here. So he gets the boost. He gets revived. You can tell that I am not as enthusiastic about Orga or as knowledgeable about Orga's abilities because he just is not extremely impactful. He is really solid for, you know, defending against ground units. He's not going to hit air. He does 1 slow on spawn, and then basically he just tanks a bunch of hits, dies. He revives with 50% health damage boost, and then goes on his way tanking shots. He is pretty much a glorified Anguirus, except he respawns. I think this season with the rented, he's probably at the top of the B tier. I think that he is pretty sick. I like the flavor of having Orga, of having a character that revives itself. Orga just doesn't do enough for me to be like, oh, this rocks. This is super cool. This is super impactful. Like, the first day of the season, I really enjoyed using Orga, and I thought this was a game changer. And then, like, the more I played with him, and then the more I played with Kiryu, I was like, ah, man, like, this kind of is lame. He's a great gimmick, and he can definitely be used. If you have a high-level Orga, if you have like a level 40 Orga, like a level 35 Orga, and he just has like a shit ton of health, you're going to get a lot of benefit out of him, of course, because his whole deal is to just tank a bunch of hits, revive, tank a bunch of more hits for your guys. I wish he was a 4 cost. I think that once you have characters in the 5 or higher slot, you are then competing with a lot of other really strong characters. 5 or higher characters, right? Rainbow Mothra, Mothra Leo, 10th Angel, 4th Angel, Batra, Fire Rodan. What's their names are over here? For 6 cost, you have GMK, you have Super Godzilla. Actually, Super Godzilla 5 or 6? I don't even remember. -1 is a 6 cost. Destroy is a 7 cost. Final Wars is a 7 cost. Kamen Rider is 4 cost. Kiryu Hat is a 6 cost. For 1 energy more, you can have all those guys. Orga, I think, could be 1 energy less, and then I think he would be a very reliable tank. He doesn't hit air. I think he's fine. I don't think he is super impactful. I just think that he is really nice flavor, and I'm happy that Orga is in the game, but I really don't think he's that super strong. This season, he's definitely the top of the B tier because he has rented levels. When the season is over, he will probably move down some, I think. So, those are my thoughts, you guys, on the characters for this season. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not? I think maybe some of you might not agree with me. I actually am looking at the B tier, and I think there may be some things could be changed around. I don't think Ginza is that good. I'm not here to talk about Ginza. I might just put Ginza, like, right here. This is probably fine. Something like... Now I feel a lot better about this tier list. Way to go, me. Alright, so now, for real, this is the end of the tier list. So, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think down below, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.